This is the Nomadic Traveler Podcast. Welcome to Nomadic Traveler Podcast. I am your host, Jason, and our lovely Nicole host.
Hey guys, what's up?
How's it going, Nicole host?
I like that. It's very flowy. It's going good.
We're just going to go with that for now on then.
I don't know about that.
The Nicole host.
Okay.
All right. What are we doing today?
Today we're talking about Disney for adults.
For adults?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
That means all the fun things you can do by yourself without your kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
This sounds cool. I like this.
A lot of secret things you can get into.
There's some secrets?
Yeah.
How many secrets you got?
It's a secret.
Oh. Okay.
Probably like 4.
4?
Teen.
That's not... Oh, okay. That's better.
Good ones. We got good stuff to go over today.
All right. Let's see. What are we starting with then? When did we go to Disney?
In August.
So we went to Disney when we also went to NASA and when we also went to the Podcast Movement Podcasting Conference.
Yes. So we did a lot.
Because we're trying to get better for y'all.
A rush. So we have a lot of things to talk about from all of that experience. So
are you excited?
I am.
Did you enjoy Disney?
I loved it. It was a lot different than what I remembered.
Was it the most magical place on Earth?
I haven't been everywhere on Earth. But yes, it is very magical.
Was it the most magical place you've ever been on Earth?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a lot different as an adult, I will say that. So I'm really excited for this episode because it's very different experience as an adult.
What was different about it?
I think it's a lot more enjoyable as an adult. I don't know.
So you like it more as an adult than as a kid?
I did, yeah. I had a good time.
Did you take pictures of Mickey?
I did not. No pictures. I was trying to be off of technology and did not take a lot of pictures at all.
That was probably good.
I know, right? I did a good job. I probably took like maybe 10 the entire time.
That's pretty low for Disney.
Yeah, that's not very many.
I think I take 4,000. No, I didn't. I'm kidding.
But no, yeah, we had a good time. And the hotel that we stayed at was pretty close to downtown Disney and Disney. So it was really close in there.
Sweet.
So that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Did we tell them about our little red box thing there? I don't know if we told everybody that, did we?
No, we haven't told them anything about it.
I didn't know if we mentioned that in another episode.
Mm-mm,
okay.
We did.
So the hotel that we stayed at was, Nicole.
Why are you laughing? The Hilton Orlando Lake Buena Vista.
Yes.
Who said that good?
I love putting pressure on Nicole. It's fun.
Yeah, we had quite the experience there. I would definitely recommend it. What about you?
I thought it was good. We did have some problems when we first got there.
Swamp room.
Yeah, I don't want to sugarcoat everything too much. That's what we like to make a real podcast here. We like everything to be real and not sugarcoated. So, yeah, when we first got there, they checked us into a room on the first floor, which sucked.
Well, like you could walk down the hallway, you just felt like moist.
The whole hallway felt moist, and then you went into the room, and the room felt like it was like 90% humidity.
Like just thick.
It was horrible.
Yeah. Which they said is kind of normal for first floor rooms. I didn't realize that, but that's what they say.
I think that was a big excuse.
I think so too. But yeah, so we got switched to another room.
It's a room on the third floor, fourth floor, something like that. Third floor.
Yeah.
And it didn't have very good air conditioning.
Yes.
So we stayed there one night and kind of sweated and was rather warm. Mm-hmm. Not very happy. So then we called, and then they tried to move us to another room on the third floor, which was basically the same thing. It had the same troubles, same issue. Mm-hmm. So we asked if we could maybe move to a different hotel, and they said, well, we have a whole floor that got remodeled. We'll upgrade you to one of the rooms on the 10th floor.
Yeah, a junior suite.
Which was a junior suite. So, and it actually had 2 air conditioners in it because the room was roughly twice the size. Not quite twice the size, but it had double air conditioners in it, which I think helped keep it much cooler and the floor was all remodeled, so it had new carpet. I don't think the beds were new.
No.
And I don't think the sheets were new.
No.
But I think it had new furniture, new television, new drapes, stuff like that.
The bathrooms was nice. Yeah, they were nice.
The bathrooms were nice, but I don't think they were new, were they? I think it was about the same as the other rooms, weren't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Weren't it?
Weren't it?
Yeah. But there were a lot of good things about the hotel. What was your favorite thing?
I like the red box thing, which is what I kind of mentioned earlier. Okay. It's not really a red box, but they have free DVD rental kiosks in the lobby. So you can go down and they got a bunch of current DVDs in there, and they have DVD players in the room, and you can go down and rent movies and then watch movies. So you get one pass per room, and you can rent up to one video at a time. So if you want to watch 3 videos in one night, you can rent one, go down to the lobby, trade it in, get another one, go back up there. You can watch as many as you can possibly roll through. You just have to bring it down there and swap it back out.
And pro tip, after staying there for over 2 weeks or almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks.
You can go to the different kiosks, have different movies.
Yes, so we figured out that the different kiosks there have different movies. So after a couple days, I tried the other kiosks. So we've been doing down, there's 2 kiosks on each end where like the elevators are. So there's like 4 elevators on each end of the hotel, and by each elevator is a set of kiosks. So we've been using the same kiosk over and over and over again. I was like, I wonder if this other one has different movies. So we tried the other one, and sure enough, the other one had different movies in it. The one that we'd been going to the whole time had. So it gave us a little more variety. And then after a couple more days, I was like, I wonder if there's other movies at the other end. And I went down and asked them at the front desk, and they go, I don't think so, but here's another card.
Yeah, because they have different cards.
That's where they screwed up. Because now we had 2 cards, so now we could rent 2 movies at the same time. So this is my little secret for you. If you stay at the Hilton Orlando Lake Buena Vista, ask them for a second card, and then you can get 2 movies at one time. Then you can watch 2 movies back to back without having to go up and down the elevator.
Yeah.
So, and they did have different movies at each kiosk on each end. So check all 4 kiosks, and they might have something more to your liking.
Yeah. There was a lot of other things that I liked. I loved the pools. They had 2 pretty big, decent pools.
They have 2 large pools. The one pool is enormous.
Yeah. And you can get
it's like an Olympic-sized pool. It's big.
Poolside service.
And Nicole loved the room side, the poolside service. She liked that she could order drinks without having to get out of the pool, and people would bring her drinks.
Yes.
Is that your first experience with that?
For that long. Like, I've been to places where for like a night or 2.
Oh.
Where they come and bring you drinks. But yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's rather nice.
Yeah. And you just say, charge it to the game. And then they also have
your room.
Then they also have 2 hot tubs, and they have 3 restaurants, which we tried all of them, didn't we? Yeah, we tried all the restaurants.
They have the restaurant, the lobby restaurant, where Jose was.
Yeah,
We got to know Jose.
he was cool.
He was really nice. We really liked Jose a lot.
By the end of the time, he knew our order before we got up there.
What was it? Stress reliever?
Stress reliever, and then what was it?
We were drinking these drinks called stress reliever, and we'd walk up and Jose would be like, you want 2 stress relievers? And we'd be like, 4. He'd be like, okay.
Gotcha. And then there's like an Italian, was it an Italian restaurant? I don't remember the name.
Italian restaurant in there. I cannot think of the name. It was decent. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Italian. And for me, it's just because I feel like it's something that you can very easily make like at home. And when I'm out traveling, I like to get things that are like a little different, especially if I'm in Florida. I like to get seafood as much as I can.
Yeah.
So, because you can't get good seafood in Indiana.
Yeah. And then there was the Benihana restaurant.
And then we went to Benihana, and, again, because we like to keep it real, it was the worst Benihana I've ever been to in my whole entire life.
Yes.
I love Benihana. I love Benihana style restaurants. I've been to quite a few of them. I don't know why it was so poor. Every Benihana that I've ever been to has all Asian people working at it, and this place had just regular Joe Blows just working at it. And I don't know if that hurt the quality, but the food was not very good at the Benihana.
It wasn't very authentic.
No.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
No.
It was not.
Luckily, the hotel is walking distance to downtown Disney. The food at downtown Disney is much better.
Yeah, we're going to, get to that.
We'll get to that in a minute as well.
For sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't necessarily not stay there just because We didn't really like the restaurants.
Yeah. Well, then they also have, so they have a little cafe there as well. That's not a restaurant, but I mean, it's pretty big. They have sandwiches and muffins and donuts, and it's like a store.
Yeah, and it's open 24 hours a day.
24 hours. And you get, when you sign in for each night, you get
3 bottles of water a day.
Yeah. For
And
free.
3 coffees a day? 2 coffees a day?
I think it's 2 coffees a day.
2 coffees a day, and then you can get discounts on park tickets. But, I mean, let's be real. If you're going to Disney, you need to have your park tickets ahead of time. Don't wait to buy them
Right.
when you get to the hotel.
So if you get home late or whatever, it is nice to have that little cafe there so you can stop and grab something if you're running in late.
Correct.
So that was nice. Some of the other good things that they offer too, which we did not realize, is they do have the fast passes at 60 days.
Yeah, so that was one of the mistakes that I made. So when I booked our fast passes, I thought that I had to wait till the 30-day mark, but it turned out that because the Hilton was a Disney affiliated hotel, I believe is what they called it, it's still just like staying at one of the on-property resorts, and you can book your fast passes 60 days in advance.
Yeah, so that was nice.
If you're trying to do Dizzy Dog Dash, Pandora, some of the other ones that are newer, the fast passes are very, very hard to get. So if you're really trying to do one of those ones that is super in demand and new, any of the Star Wars stuff that just opened, any of that stuff is going to be super high demand. Anything that's new, you need to be like on your window 60 days out, ready to go as soon as it rolls over. And I think it's like 7 a.m., 60 days out.
Okay.
So you need to be sitting there on your computer, on your smartphone, whatever you're doing, and be booking your fast passes immediately. And
So
if you miss it, you're going to miss the stuff. There's still going to be other good stuff. You'll still be able to get stuff like Soarin' and Test Track and some other stuff like that that's a little older, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You know, Rocket Roller Coaster maybe because it's not super new.
Some things.
So you still get good stuff. You're just not going to get the brand newest stuff.
Yeah, because we got decent rides, I feel like, and we didn't do it 60 days.
Correct.
So, but yeah, they do offer that there, so that's nice. And then they have the extra Disney extra hours as well offered.
Because it's an affiliated hotel as well, you can also get Disney extra hours, which is another thing that I did not realize. I thought because we were staying at a Hilton, we did not get the advantage of that, but it turns out that we do.
Yeah. So, you do have to pay for parking. It was, I think,
parking was a little salty. I think it was $26 for self-parking, $29 for valet, or $32 for valet, something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, I thought it was slightly salty, but whatever.
It was a little bit up there. But
so
not
yeah,
too
so you're
bad.
paying, what was it, $25 a night for the resort fee, plus $26 a night for parking.
Right, but
So you're paying about $50 extra on top of your fee. So our room per night was like $110, I think, or something like that, which I thought seemed pretty reasonable considering the location. But then when you add all the other stuff on there, plus all your Florida taxes and all that crap,
it adds up.
it gets much higher, yeah.
And they did have the free shuttles, though.
So, and I booked this. I know I've talked about my. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I booked this through my Disney, or not Disney, my Hilton Honors app. And when you book through the Hilton Honors app, it tells you your total. I don't think it adds in parking now, but it does add in resort fees and taxes. So depending upon where you book through, if you're booking through Expedia or something else out there, make sure it's including all your fees. Because a lot of times they like to give you totals that are your totals minus taxes, minus resort fees, minus all that stuff. And you get there and it's significantly higher. So you want to be trying to make sure that you know everything that you can possibly know going into it. And I like that it gives me my total before I book the room. So it'll say your total is $2,300. And I know that's including my resort fee and my taxes.
Yeah, that's really good, especially going on vacation and spending money while you're there. It's good to know what that's going to be up front.
Yeah.
When you check out, for sure. No, I was saying they do have the shuttles as well.
And because it's a Disney affiliated, yeah. So they have shuttles to downtown Disney, which it's walking distance. I mean, I don't know why you would wait around for a shuttle to ride 600 yards. Unless maybe you're handicapped or you got a wheelchair access, something like that. You know, I can see, if you have extenuating circumstances. But if your feet work and you're at Disney and there's lots of great food, you're going to be eating like a pig anyway. So take a walk.
So you need the walk.
Take a walk. But it does take you to the parks and stuff as well. So you can catch a bus to Epcot. You can catch a bus to all of them.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing I was thinking that might offset the cost of the parking at the hotel is if you're not paying for parking at the
It would help,
parks,
yeah,
you know
because
what I mean?
we ended up driving to the parks, so then we're also paying $25 a day.
I
Is that
think
what it
that's-
was
yeah.
to park at the stupid parks too?
Yeah. So it would offset that cost.
So if you are patient enough to wait around for the bus,
Yeah, that's the only thing you have to
that
wait.
would offset the cost of that for sure. So that would save you $25 a day.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But overall, I felt like it was a good experience.
No, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Once we got finally settled and we finished bouncing around rooms.
Right.
So, but I do like being close to downtown Disney. That's probably one of the things that I would recommend is try to stay at one of the resorts that is close to downtown Disney, and you can just walk there. So you can go to your park, you can hang out all day, get there super early, maybe come back, recharge for a little bit, take a nap, go swim at the pool, and then, maybe hit downtown Disney for dinner, a little bit of shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Should we do our
nice.
shopping tip now, or?
We can, yeah.
Well, so my shopping tip is that I would do my shopping at downtown Disney, especially if you're staying at one of the resorts that's close to downtown Disney, then you're not lugging stuff from the actual parks.
Yes.
So I prefer to do my shopping at downtown Disney. They have a huge Walt Disney World store there that has pretty much everything that they're going to have at the parks. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a few things at the parks. There's probably a few unique items that are maybe at some locations that you can't get at others. But overall, it's all kind of the same stuff. No matter where you are, no matter what park you're at, no matter what shop you're at.
Yeah, well, and then that saves you time at the park to focus on riding your rides and doing your experiences.
So that was my other thing is focus on riding your rides, focus on doing your thing, and have less crap to lug around with you all day.
For sure.
The other half of that tip is at most of the parks, the shops stay open later than the rides. So if your park closes at 9, your park closes at 10, that's when all the rides shut off and everything, but you can still go shopping a whole hour after that.
Yeah.
So if you really want to do your shopping, you can do it after all of your rides close on your way out. Especially if you're at Magic Kingdom, let all those people get on the monorail, on the boats, let them all, shuffle out of there. And then if you're leaving about an hour later, it's going to cut your wait down. It's going to cut the inconvenience down. And then you're lugging your stuff out from Main Street, USA to the monorail to your car and not lugging it around all day long with you.
Mm-hmm. That's a great tip.
Highly, highly recommend that.
If you do stay at one of the Disney resorts, though, won't they take your souvenirs that you buy at Disney and they'll take it back
I
for you?
believe they have a service, where you can buy things and then you can check it in there and it will show up at your room later.
Yeah.
I don't think that's for the affiliated ones. I think that is just for the ones if you're staying on property.
Yeah. So
I've never actually utilized that, but I do know they offer that, and I'm not sure to what extent.
I saw a lot of people buying big toys.
And then having it shipped back to the
and
room.
I saw workers carrying it off, and I think that's what they were doing. They were shipping it back.
So that's by far
which is a good
worth
idea.
looking into as well.
Yeah. So, all right. Now to my favorite experience of the whole trip.
What's that?
Do you know what that is?
Well, I don't want to just start randomly guessing things. I'll give things away.
It is a highway in the sky.
Oh, we're going on to that. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
That was my very favorite.
So what is Highway in the Sky?
So Highway in the Sky is a dinner sequence where you go to the different restaurants and you get food at each one, and it takes you along the monorail system to each restaurant, and it was my absolute favorite.
Yeah, it's kind of like a progressive dinner. So
progressive dinner.
you start at the Wave in the Contemporary Resort, and they did, what was it, tomato bisque?
We had a cucumber refresher drink.
Yeah. We had a cucumber refresher drink.
And a tomato bisque.
Alcohol included.
Yes. But if you don't want alcohol, they do have regular drinks.
They did have
too.
non-alcoholic options as well.
Yes. And then, the tomato bisque, which was absolutely amazing.
It was really, really good. They don't
good.
give you a lot of it, but it's very, very good.
I saw the little teacup come out, and I was so sad.
They're very good at keeping you hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I was a little disappointed with at first, but it's the whole experience all flows so nicely, and you don't feel stuffed, and you're eating at a nice light pace, and you have great conversation. There's lots of other couples there, and you were traveling around with these couples, and since what was the experience, about 3 hours?
Yeah, it's pretty long.
So the whole experience is probably 3 to 4 hours, somewhere around in there. So you get to know all the other couples, so you make friends. Some people were exchanging phone numbers and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's a very nice, pleasant experience. I really enjoyed it.
Well, the other thing too was they come out. So like at the wave, the chef that created the bisque came out and kind of told us a little bit about it and why he created it and how he did it and things like that, and thanked us for coming. I thought that was cool to like be greeted by the chef.
Same thing with the mixologist that made the refresher drink. They came out and talked about how they muddled the different concoctions together, and
which that was very refreshing. I don't like cucumber, but it was very, very refreshing.
It was good. I don't like cucumber either, but it was very light, refreshing drink. It felt very summery. It felt very just refreshing. It's hard. There's no better word to describe it than refreshing.
You have to try it. You have to try it.
So
I'm telling you, if you are an adult and you're going to Disney, you have to do this experience. Like 100%.
It's a little pricey, but I really, really recommend it, man.
Well, I don't even know how pricey it is considering like everything you get though, like all the food that you get.
I mean, you get a lot, and the experience is 5-star.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Then you go out. So once you do all your little food and you eat your bisque, you kind of get some mingle time. And then after you mingle, they get everybody together in a group. There's restrooms right there. They let everybody go use the restrooms. And then you go in one large group up the escalators all the way up to the lobby, the mezzanine area, whatever they call it, where the monorail goes through the middle of the Contemporary Resort. They take you on. They have a car that is just for the group. So you get on like the front of the train by the driver. That usually the driver's standing around. So if you really want to ask the driver questions, you could also do that as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's a whole car for just you guys. They don't let anybody else get on it. And it's only for Dine in the Sky people. They take you over to the Polynesian. So you ride the monorail over the Polynesian. You get off. They escort you through. You go through security one time at the Contemporary Resort.
Yeah.
And once you've been through security, you don't have to go through security again. So you go through the exit turnstile to get to the train. You do not wait in any lines.
Yes, that's amazing.
And you don't get wanded or anything again. It's just go.
You're just in and out. Like there's no wait.
Correct.
It's perfect. So in there they have like, it's all set up and ready for you. The tables are out. There's little lays. They had little lays sitting out.
They did give everybody little lays.
That was kind of fun.
I think they gave us Mai Tais, I believe.
Yes, yeah. So we
Mai
had
Tai was very good.
Yeah, you can't get more than one.
Yes, I asked. They would not give me more than one drink.
And then they have like a musician. He was a ukulele artist.
A ukulele guy that played some authentic Hawaiian tunes.
Yeah.
And he taught us all how to say different Hawaiian phrases.
We sang a song. Yeah, like
we sang a Hawaiian song all in
Yeah.
Hawaiian that we all kind of fumbled through.
Yeah, I didn't know what was really happening. I just moved my mouth.
So, yeah. But it was very cool. The guy was very friendly. He was very good. The music was excellent. The chef was there. The chef kind of talked about what they had made. They talked about the drinks that they had made. There was different hostesses there. It's very well staffed. So there's plenty of people around to help you out. The food.
Yeah.
So
we had a smoked tuna.
Yeah, the ahi poke tuna, I believe is what they call it.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of it.
It's basically like smoked raw tuna, I believe.
God, it was amazing.
It was really good, yeah.
It was like the best tuna I've ever had.
It was really exceptional, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then we had a Hawaiian whitefish that we did not catch the name of. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
It was, yeah, spectacular. Now, what was the third thing?
It was a little steak on like some mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah,
a little baby steak.
Yeah.
It was good too, though. It was a nice like balance. I don't know if it was a fillet or not. It was really small.
It was a really small yellow steak on just like a little thing of mashed potatoes. Again, it's not very big, but it's enough to kind of get you going, kind of get some food in you. It was all super, super high quality. Super, super excellent. So you kind of take your time, you eat it slow. You're basically at each location for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So it's not like, rushing through family dinner. I got to do homework, Take your time, drink your drink, talk with your friends, sing some Hawaiian songs. Yeah. I asked the chef a bunch of questions about the food. Obviously not enough since I don't know what the fish was called.
We knew it, just can't remember.
They did tell us, and I did know it at one time, but that has escaped me since. So, and then after that, you're all done. You go through the exit turnstile. You hop on your air-conditioned private car at the front of the monorail, and they take you over to the Grand Floridian.
Yes, which was very fancy.
It was very nice, very fancy, very, what do you call it? Pinkies up?
Yeah.
Very pinkies up, darling. So, and then we go through and you go through the lobby and they had a guy playing piano in the lobby. It's very Victorian, old school Florida. Like you kind of feel like it's from like the 20s or something, I guess. And they take you into so you listen to the guy play piano for a while. There's good access to restrooms there again. There was not good access to restrooms at the Polynesian, but you can still go, but they're just not close by. At the other two locations, they're close by to where you're going.
Yeah.
So you listen to the piano, take you by the bathrooms, and then you go through, and then we have, what was it, about 5 private tables set up in one of the restaurants. And what's the restaurant called? Did you write down?
The Citrus?
Citrus?
Citrus. CITR.
I think it was, kind of, it was pronounced kind of like citrus with a twist, but I think that's how I was saying it too, was citrus.
That's what I was saying, but that's not how you
But I
did
think
it.
it's like, citrus or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so they take us in there, they set you down. What was the drink there?
So the drink there,
wine.
you could either get red or white wine.
So in there, I said, hey, I don't really drink wine. Can I get something else? They asked what I wanted. I was like, I just take like a vodka cranberry or something like that. So they did bring me a vodka cranberry. They did let me sub.
I will say, though, I'm not, like, I like wine, but I don't super love it. But it was really good. The wine that I had was
It was good
decent.
quality wine. Yeah, because I remember some of the other people saying they really liked it too.
They were both dry wines, which I was nervous about because I'm not really into that, but it was good. I would suggest getting the red.
That's
what I had, the red wine.
Was it a Riesling? Is that what it was?
I think so.
I don't know wine very much, so I probably shouldn't be talking.
So then there we were given like ribs and mashed potatoes.
Yeah, it was.
What was the third thing?
It was pulled ribs? No. Yeah. No.
Like, no.
There was a fish there too, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was another fish, but it was.
There's another kind of fish, and then the ribs were kind of almost like a roast or something like that.
They were like falling in your mouth.
Fall off
like
the bone
perfect.
ribs. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, all of that was amazing.
So yeah, it was very, very good. So again, you hang out there for about 45 minutes or so.
I will say we should probably mention this too, that like if you do have any allergies, they're very good about asking you ahead of time what are your allergies or what don't you eat.
When I reserved the thing, they asked me there. Then they had a host call me before we even left to go there, and then they confirmed that we had no allergies. And then when we got to check in at the Wave, they again asked us if anybody had any allergies. There was lots of people in our groups that did have allergies that had special food preferences.
Yeah, like vegan and vegetarian. Yeah. But yeah, so then you go downstairs at the same place.
Oh, wait, I wanted to say when we were at that last stop, too, remember the girl next to us got a vegetarian dish?
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was, but it looked amazing.
Yeah, and it was huge.
Usually vegetarian options don't look so great to me.
Yeah.
Her food looked fantastic.
It looked really, really
So they
good.
do have very, very good options.
Yeah.
So after that, they take you by again, listen to a little more piano in the lobby. You can go to the restroom again. And then they take you down to a cheese tasting.
That was my favorite.
So you had said that about everything, though.
I love this whole thing.
So then they took us down to a cheese tasting. They take you to another little dining room, another little private dining room. It's kind of enclosed behind where they're playing piano. So everybody's in the lobby listening to the piano. This is like a little room off of that was private, but you could still hear the piano playing. So you could still listen to it, kind of feel a part of everything, but it was all still private. Nobody could kind of come in there.
Yeah, and they're all dressed in like old time clothes.
Everybody's
and like
dressed in their Disney period attire. You know?
So it's kind of nice.
And they had different meats and cheeses.
Like salamis and different types of them, and
a
little pickle.
It was definitely pinkies up for us.
Yeah, mustard seeds.
We liked everything, but we don't know the names of everything.
Yeah, and then champagne. They gave you a glass of champagne
they
too.
did give us a glass of champagne. And usually I hate champagne, but that was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's a nice.
It still
time.
wasn't my style, but it wasn't like where I couldn't handle it, you know.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of liked about it too, is you get a taste of like, okay, the Hawaiian's kind of like relaxed, and then this is kind of like more upscale, you know, so whatever your personality is, you can lean towards any of it.
Yeah. But it was very good. They had this dab of honey on there too that was like a super high-end honey that was fantastic.
Like natural still had the wax in it.
Yeah.
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 It was good.
And then what were the little things called? Do you remember what they were called? The little things that look like pickles?
I don't remember what they were called. I was just calling them pickles.
They weren't really pickles. They were something else, but they were good, man.
We'll post a picture of all of this too on the Facebook page.
Yeah, we'll get that up
so you guys can see. But yeah, I liked that part a lot. It's kind of like a relaxing part too. Made you feel fancy?
Yes. So
yeah,
you go back up your steps, you go get in the line, you go through the exit line, get back in your private car on the monorail. It takes you through the drop-off area at the Magic Kingdom, so you can kind of see everybody, at the Magic Kingdom doing their kind of thing. You can see the front, and then it takes you back up into the Contemporary Resort. You get out of the monorail, you go the opposite direction. You don't go like with the crowd where you go through like the lines and the turnstiles. They take you down the opposite direction, down some like private stairs, like a maintenance stairwell or something like that. And you come out on this little patio that's underneath the monorail line. And it's like something that they've completely made for this experience. It has some like bleacher seating down there, and then they have like coffee and desserts and stuff there for
and
you.
drinks
and
oh yeah, everything that you could ask for.
Nicole and I got to sit in the front row. That was quite amazing.
I will say, because when we got off the monorail, I think we were a little bit behind because our monorail got like a little slowed down. And so everybody was kind of in a rush to get down there.
Well, I think a lot of people that were in front of us were in a rush to get down there because they wanted to go to the bathroom first.
Yeah. So we
and
were
there wasn't this was another location where the bathroom was not convenient. So you had to walk a little ways to get to the bathroom.
Yeah. So we were like kind of rushing, and we ended up getting the front seat, which was pretty spectacular.
We actually weren't even the first ones there, but the people behind us had another couple that they wanted to, we want to sit with them. Can we sit here? And they're like, could we sit up there? And they're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it looks directly across to the fireworks.
And it's a perfect view directly at the Magic Kingdom, directly at the fireworks. They have the music and the show piped in via speakers on the little lobby right there. And it was fantastic.
It just felt like one of a kind. Like it felt private
extremely
and
unique, yeah.
And one of a kind. Like you just felt special there.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
And the desserts were excellent. 5-star desserts. They had coffee with Kahlua.
Yeah.
And all the different kind of drinks, the coffee dessert drinks that you would expect.
They had sodas and water.
Did they have sodas?
They did.
Oh, okay.
And they had, all kinds of dessert. They had cookies.
They had cookies, brownies, cheesecakes.
Cheesecake, that was the other thing.
And a strawberry shortcake, I think.
Yeah.
Was the other thing.
Pretty much whatever your heart could desire at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you hang out, you watch fireworks, you hang out as long as you want. Everybody was like exchanging numbers with people they'd made new friends with at the end. You can kind of hang out as long as you want.
Yeah.
And then you go out and, also, by the way, valet parking was included with it as well.
That's right. They did have
So we drove into the Contemporary and we got free valet parking. So we take our ticket down there.
And at the end, before you leave that little watching station, they give you a walk-away prize. I think it was was it chocolate?
Yeah, they gave you a little like present for coming. Yeah, they
said
thank you for coming, and it was a little gourmet chocolate.
A little gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice too.
That was good as well, yeah.
Gosh, so many things with that. That was amazing.
It was really good, yeah.
And because it is adults only, it's very chill, like very relaxed.
Yes, there were no kids there. Most of the people there were older, I would say. 55 plus, probably. We were probably the youngest people there.
Yeah, there were a lot of older people
all of them, their kids were like grown and stuff like that. Some people did have kids that were doing other things, but nobody tried to bring their kids to this event. I don't think kids would enjoy it.
No.
You might be able to, but I don't think they would enjoy it that much.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So highly, highly recommended though. It was approximately, I want to say it was like $369 for 2 people.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
So again, it's pricey, but I kind of feel like it was worth it. So.
To get to try, and that's the other thing, you get to try out. So all this food that we tried is at these restaurants within the hotels.
Correct. You could go back and get all of this stuff as a meal. So if you had something that you really liked, you can go back.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another little hidden tip too. No, no matter where you're staying at, you can go and eat at any of the restaurants at any of the hotels anywhere.
Yeah.
So if you have a friend tell you, oh, we had the best meal at the Contemporary, we had the best meal at the Polynesian, you can go and have that meal.
Yeah.
You do not have to be staying there.
Because I wanted to go back to the Polynesian and have that white fish.
Yes.
As like a meal, like a big one. That was amazing. So. And
then I had asked them if they had sushi there, and they said they had a sushi bar. So I wanted to go back and get some sushi, but we did not do that. We had a full week, so.
That was a great start to our trip.
It was.
Yeah.
Absolutely flat out amazing.
For sure.
So.
All right.
What's next?
So next is Epcot. So we're going to kind of talk about the things that we did at Epcot, that we did as adults that maybe might not be as good with kids. Some of them you can do with kids, but most of them are adult friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did Epcot Behind the Seeds tour.
Yeah. So if you go to the Land Pavilion, they have the ride. What is the ride actually called? Living with the Land.
Living with the Land.
So they have the ride, Living with the Land, you go through, and they talk about aquaponics and stuff like that, and sustainable farming, and how, you know, through sustainable farming, we can actually grow more food with less chemicals, less fertilizers, less land. And they were like, if you want to know more, you can do a Behind the Scenes tour. So we signed up for the Behind the Seeds tour.
Yeah.
So it is a private tour. You get to go through the greenhouse. This was also amazing. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Most of the people there did not have kids. There was one other couple that had a girl there that was like maybe 9 or something, maybe.
Yeah, 8 or 9. Yeah.
And she was extremely interested in farming and stuff like that. So I think it was good for her. But again, this is another thing that would probably be good if you did not have to bring kids.
And very inexpensive. I mean, it's $25 a person. Yeah. So very
So as far as private tours go at Disney, it's probably the most reasonable one.
Well, and the other thing is like we walked right off the ride and I saw it, and then the next day I was like, let's go back and see, and we were able to get right on. So it's not something you have to book.
Yeah, I think they offer it every hour.
Yeah. You don't have to book it.
So you do not have to book it ahead of time. We were able to book it about 2 hours from when we booked it.
Yeah.
So the one that with that time that we were there was like, say, I don't know, 11 a.m. or something like that. And they said, well, we don't have 11 and we don't have 12, but if you want to come back for 1, you can do that. So we were like, no problem. We had a fast pass at like 11:30 or something. We went and did our fast pass, came back, and it was perfect timing to come back, and we hung out for maybe 10 minutes, and then 1 o'clock rolled around. They came out and got us.
Yeah.
One thing that I really liked about it that was really unique is they give you earbuds. So the tour operator has a microphone that she wears all the time, and then you wear like a little earbud in your ear, and you can hear what they're saying. So because you're walking in a group, there's probably 20 people in the group, and then everybody has to like walk through doorways. So she's like continually talking, and you might be walking through a doorway, and it might take the group 30, 45 seconds to walk through the doorway, so you don't miss all of the things that she said while she was walking through the doorway. Or if she's talking down at one end of the group and you're at the back of the group, you can still hear what's going on.
Yeah, have you ever been to one?
I've never been to one like that, actually.
Me neither. And I loved it because what I like to do in tours sometimes is I get focused on one thing and everybody else is walking away, but I'm kind of still looking at,
still hear,
whatever I'm interested in, and then you can still hear and pay attention to it all.
And you're not really supposed to touch anything in there because they do use all of the food on property, but you are pretty much free to walk around and check out anything that you want. So I walked up and checked out some things very closely with my eyes,
Yeah.
And so she can still talk about things, and the group can do whatever they want to, and I could peel off and go check out, what was it, like the hanging squash?
Yeah.
That had it just had exposed roots that were hanging down, and it would go through like this little chamber that sprayed like fertilized water on the roots, and then the roots would kind of go around and they would just float for like maybe 30 minutes, and they would go through this little shower again.
Yeah.
And I was just amazed at the system. It uses no dirt at all.
It was like a little factory where they just kind of like flew around everywhere.
It was like a conveyor belt, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Do you remember the one plant that we got to touch?
Oh, what was it?
I think it's Steve. Was it Steve?
Or was it Frank? Or
I don't remember.
They named the plant, and if you touch the plant, It's leaves folded up.
That was cool.
And then she said that we could all say, I think it was Frank, wasn't it?
It might have been Frank.
And she was like, say goodnight, Frank. We're all like, goodnight, Frank. She kind of shook the plant, and all the leaves all closed at the same time.
And it looks like dead.
And it looks completely dead.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then, when you walk by it 30 minutes later, it's all opened again. So everything's fine.
Yeah.
So, and then they take you into the air-conditioned greenhouse next. And then, what was the first thing that we saw there? Do you remember?
I think the first thing we got there was she gave us some cucumbers that they had grown.
Oh, yeah, before we went to the air-conditioned greenhouse, right? That was before we went there.
It was right before we walked through the door, but
So yeah, before we went in there, they did let us try cucumbers there. One of the neat things about the cucumbers is they have molds that they can put around the cucumbers that make the cucumbers grow in the shape of Mickey heads.
Yeah, that was cool.
So then they can slice the cucumbers and put them on plates, and they look like little Mickey heads. So I didn't know that you could do that. I found that to be very unique and interesting. And I was like, you could get any kind of mold that you wanted and put it around your plants, and your plant would grow inside of it. You would think it would damage it, bruise it. No.
Yeah.
Everything was fine.
That was really cool. Yeah, then there were also hidden Mickeys throughout the tour.
There was a lot of hidden Mickeys on the tour, yeah. So I can't remember what was next. What was after that? What was the first thing in the air-conditioned greenhouse? You remember? I do remember they let us get water. It was hot in there.
Yeah, we.
I do remember getting water.
Very hot. Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't think of what was next.
I mean, they pretty much grew everything.
Yeah, they did grow. They grew a little bit of everything. The next zone was sand, so it was very interesting. Everything that they were growing was grown in sand there. That I thought was very unique.
They had guava plants were.
They had guavas
in there.
I think there was some peas. I can't think.
I mean, if you name
it was
it,
a lot.
they grow it.
There was a lot to that tour, so it was almost hard to absorb everything.
I know, like my favorite thing that they talked about. So in the beginning, the very beginning, before you go out in the actual greenhouse, they talk about there are 3 types of pest control, which I thought was very interesting. So obviously, like picking bugs off, spraying for bugs, things like that, which they try to limit the spraying. But my favorite part was they talked about the bug antagonists. So they have these special bugs that they release to kill bad bugs.
Correct.
And then they show you all of that and like how that works and different plants of the journey. So like before they release the bugs and then after and what it looks like. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, because they did take you into a room where they showed you they got one bug that lays seeds or their eggs in the heads of the other bug. And the one bug that lays the seeds in the heads of the other bug eats the plants. The bug that lays the seeds in the head does not eat plants. Mm-hmm. So they go through and they do what did they call it? Do you remember what they called it? The name?
I just remember being called a bug antagonist. I don't remember
antagonist.
I don't remember what the name of it, but I liked it because it was very in depth. Like I learned actually as an adult, like I learned a lot about. Yeah. It's not just like what are roots and like. Yeah. And I think the girl that led it, she was an intern.
She was an intern. She had a degree. What was it?
Yeah.
Biochemical
something.
Not biochemical.
I thought.
Botany. Was it botany?
Yeah. Well, she was a student, but she was very.
Anyways,
very
she was a student and she was getting ready to go do her master's. So this was like something that she was doing, like as an internship between that and going to do her master's. So she was getting ready to leave and do her master's. Yeah. But she was extremely knowledgeable.
Very.
So I thought that she actually worked for them, and when I found out that she'd only been there like a few weeks and she's leading this tour, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
man.
She was wonderful. I guarantee that this is a great tour for anyone, even if you're not really into like gardening or any of that. It's very interesting. Yeah.
So and the it's very big. There's tons and tons of plants that you can ask any questions you want throughout the whole entire tour about a particular plant and what they do to, keep it alive, to make it bigger, to fertilize it. Anything that you have, she basically knew the answer to. And then they take you through an aquaculture section where they have all these different salmon and tarpon and all these different fish that they grow in an aquaculture thing. And then the poo from the fish fertilizes like plants.
Yeah.
And that was amazing to me too. Mm-hmm. And then they take you into like the area with like all like the fruits and stuff kind of. Isn't that what the last group was?
Yeah. Yeah. And what's cool is as you're doing the tour, you can see the boat ride from your tour, so
Yeah.
you can see, watch
Everybody's
people go
floating by.
by.
You're like, what are these people doing?
Like, how'd they get over there? Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
So, and then
see 'em
like
go
I said,
by.
they got hidden Mickeys in there. They got plants that are shaped like Mickeys.
Yeah, it's a pepper. They have a pepper Mickey head, and he's the oldest plant that they have.
Yeah, the oldest plant
So
in
that
the
thought that was kind of
whole
cool.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
very good tour.
And then at the end, she pulled out 5 spices. And
yeah.
as a group, we were all allowed to kind of smell. You could open them up, smell them, kind of look at them, see if you could figure out what it was. And then she wanted you to put them in order from they were the 5 most expensive spices in the world, but you were supposed to put them in order from the cheapest to most expensive. Mm-hmm. So I remember saffron was most expensive. Cinnamon was in there. Do you remember what the other ones were? Vanilla was one of them.
Yep. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't tell them so they can guess it if they go on the tour.
I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do the same thing or if that was just something she did.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't
I don't know
know.
if they do the same thing because
probably
I looked in the box. They have like a big chest that almost looks like a treasure chest
of different things.
And if you look in there, there's like 100 different spices in there.
That makes sense.
And
'cause-
she only pulled out 5.
Yeah.
So maybe they do the same game, but maybe they don't do it with the same spices
Switch
every
it
time
up.
or something. So
Yeah. Well, and I know there was some people on the tour that had been on the tour before that wanted to do it again. So you would
Yeah.
think that they would keep it a little,
yeah,
switch it up a little bit.
yeah.
So-
And that shows how enjoyable the tour is if people are willing to take it twice.
Yeah.
So, but it was very interesting. We're kind of into like trying to learn how to grow stuff and plants and stuff, and we're thinking about taking like some classes to try to help us learn how to better take care of plants, better do landscaping, all kinds of stuff like that. It's just something we're kind of both interested in. So, it was like a good introduction to like doing some stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Very knowledgeable.
and if you got like I said, if you got a favorite plant, you can pick her brain and find out all the keys to making your favorite plant all that much better.
Yes. And it was cool just to learn that like all the food grown there is served at the restaurants.
It all feeds all the restaurants.
So that's how you
same
know the
thing with the
restaurants are
fish
good.
too. The fish are used at their restaurants.
That's right.
So
Yep. Yeah.
it was yeah.
Amazing.
I really liked it.
Loved it.
Love it.
So what else is at Epcot, Jason?
Well, then we went and did some rides. We went on Soarin'.
Soarin'.
So, did you like Soarin'?
I did love Soarin'. I loved it a lot.
I don't want to give away too much about Soarin', but Soarin' is probably one of my favorite rides at Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're going, make sure that you get a fast pass for it. Even if you don't get a fast pass and the line's long, wait in the line. It's worth it.
We rode it twice
We rode it twice, yeah.
because that's
So,
how good it was.
We got lucky and got there early one day, the first day, and they didn't have a line for it. And then the next day when we went back, we actually did have a fast pass for it. So we got to ride it twice and only had to wait maybe 15 minutes a pop.
Yes, that was amazing.
So, and we rode Test Track.
Oh,
Test Track was very good.
yeah, that was fun.
My tip for Test Track is when you are making your car, you get to design your own little car, and you can design it to be really super economical, or you can design it to be good for you like utility, like a pickup truck or something, or you can design it to be fast. I designed mine to be fast because I think the faster you design your car to be, the faster the ride goes. So at the end, the ride clocks how fast you're going. And I believe that if you are doing a high-speed car, your time, your clock speed at the end is registered through your design.
Yeah, the poor little girl that rode with us.
What? What happened?
We went the fastest,
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. We went very fast. Yeah.
Jason made like the most efficient car.
Non-efficient. Yeah.
Non-efficient.
So mine was, like a V12 with superchargers, flamethrowers.
Yeah, that was a fun ride though. I enjoyed that.
So, yeah, it was really good. And then we went and started touring the World Showcase.
Yes.
We did go to Mexico, which we both like Mexico. Mexico is, you're inside of a pyramid, and the inside of it is perpetually night in there. So there are like stars painted on the ceiling, and the ceiling is black, and there's a volcano in there. The volcano erupts. There's like little buildings. So the buildings are run, it's like a 2 or 3 story building along each side of it. So they have like facades that run down each side of it. You feel like you're in an actual village.
Yeah.
So, and from what the research that I did on it is that this is a replica of a real village that Walt used to go and vacation at.
Yeah.
And he liked it so much that that's where the ride came from. Or not the ride, the pavilion came from.
Yeah.
So, and there's all kinds of very authentic Mexican crafts and stuff that you can buy there. The shopping in there is fantastic. They do have a little ride in there, a boat ride with, what is it, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, I think.
Yeah. Very cool in there, too. So if you're hot, and
It's a
you're
good
like,
place to go get out of the heat for sure.
I walked in there and I was like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely feels like you're somewhere else. Like, you don't feel like you're even at Disney.
You do not.
When you're in there at all.
And then they have a nice restaurant there. The restaurant has tables. You sit on these tables that are along the water and that are along the volcano. So you can watch the volcano erupt. You feel like you are outside, but you're inside. There's no bugs.
Yes.
So they got little lamps burning in there and stuff. And it's really cool. Yes. And then one of our favorite parts is they have a little bitty bar off the side of the pavilion. So, do we have the name written down?
Yes, it's La Guava de Tequila.
La Guava de Tequila.
Sounds like me.
La Guava de Tequila is my favorite place there.
Yes, and I know we went, like, the first time we went, we got right in, right? I think.
First time we went, we got right in, but it was a Thursday, right? So, that's another thing, too, that would be a good tip is I would go during the week. It's a little less busy during the week. Disney tends to not work like your typical attractions would, where they're super busy on the weekend and not busy at all during the week because everybody there is on vacation. So it's a perpetual vacation land. So generally weekend versus week time does not matter as much. However, there are a lot of people that I know because I lived in Florida and I had a Florida resident pass. You can get Florida resident passes and you can go anytime that you want as a resident of Florida. So I think things do pick up for like locals that go there and hang out just on the weekends. So it was busier on the weekends, but I think vacation wise, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, because I think the second time we went, there was quite a bit of wait.
It was a Saturday and it was much busier.
Yeah, we waited for quite a while. But since we'd went the first day, we met our favorite bartender, Barbas, who was amazing. We would recommend to ask for him if you go there.
Yes, if you go, ask for Barbas for sure. He's extremely knowledgeable.
Yeah, yeah. So
he's probably my favorite cast member.
Yeah.
I think that I've met since I've been there, quite honestly.
Yeah. We might actually have him on a show later. Maybe.
We're going to try to get him on a show, yeah. So
yeah.
He's extremely knowledgeable. So, yeah, we think we might try to have him on a show and maybe let him talk to us a little bit about tequila. So he's what do they call it for, like, wines, a sommelier?
Oh,
I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So
very knowledgeable.
He would be like the equivalent of like a sommelier to tequila. So he knows a lot about tequilas, mezcals, and he could tell us a little bit of everything about everything that we had questions about. We did something called a Twitter shot, which is El Velo.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
El Velo tequila. So they give you a little shot of tequila, actually a big shot of tequila, a lime, salt, and then they give you, what was the stuff called? Did you write it down?
I don't think I did.
It's like it's almost kind of like a Bloody Mary mix.
Yeah, it's not. I thought they called it sangria.
It's like sangria. It's like a Santina or Sangina or something like that. So it sounds like sangria, but it's not. It's not. It's not sangria. Yeah.
It's like almost like a warm tomato.
Yeah.
Spicy kind of.
Like
it's not
a spicy
hot,
tomato, and that's spicy. Yeah. Slight spice. I would say.
Yeah. But
anyway,
amazing.
So you do your salt, you do your shot, you do your lime, and then you can drink the tomato stuff at the end, and it completely washes away any harsh taste that there might be.
Yes.
So the Twitter shot we like the best. It just happens to be one of the least expensive shots that they have there as well. So
they do have a flight that you can try a bunch of special tequilas.
They have multiple different flights where you can try different ones, but they have the high-end flight that was how many? The sixth best?
I think it was 5.
5 best?
The top 5. Like
so
the 5 that you want.
5 tequilas that they carry there. and it is $333 a person.
Yeah.
The best shot that they had there was a really super high-end Patron, and it was $569 a shot.
A shot. That was, which we did not partake in that.
We did not know. Hell no.
But we had Barbas bring us out the bottle because we were just interested in it.
Yeah, I was like, what makes this, $569? He goes, oh, you want to see? I was like, yeah, can I smell it? He's like, yeah. So he brings it out, and I'm smelling it, and it's extra añejo, which means it's extra aged in the bourbon barrels. It's in a all crystal bottle. Mm-hmm. So he said the bottle itself is like $2,000 for just the bottle. To buy the bottle with the tequila in it is $7,000, which is why the shots are so expensive.
Yeah.
So it's just an experience.
Yeah, it's a one of a kind place. Like, and you can really get things you can't get anywhere.
And it's got a lot of stuff to it that I just would not have expected at all.
Yeah. Very cool.
So they have excellent high-end specialty margaritas. They've got margaritas with like ghost peppers in them and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That are like really spicy.
Also, what about the salt? Was my absolute favorite. I don't like salt. Super love it. But their salt rim is amazing.
Black ant salt?
Yes. I try to figure out how to buy it online, but I can't find it.
Yeah, we can't find it either.
But it's actually like got ants inside of it, but it tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The black ant salt rimmer for the margaritas is fantastic.
Which make it felt just like so authentic.
Yeah.
It looks authentic, but then you go and you drink and you eat there and it's like
the whole place feels very authentic. Yeah. The bar has very low ceilings. It has little like lights like carved into the walls. It's just the whole place just really feels super authentic, and it's a very enjoyable place to go and hang out, and it's a lot of fun as an adult for sure. Now, one thing that I thought was a little crazy is there were people in there with babies.
There were.
Apparently, even if you have kids and you want a shot of tequila, you can still go in there and get you a shot of tequila with your baby. I did not know that. I was a little blown away by that.
We kind of wanted to get the whole bar to do a shot at one time, and it didn't work out.
This was Nicole's idea.
There were kids in there.
She thought it'd be fun to like make a video for the website. To get everybody doing like a shot together at the same time.
Next time.
Saying, go Nomadic Traveler.
But yeah, there were a few kids in there. So, I mean, if you do have to take your kids in, then you could if you really wanted to.
You could, yeah.
Yeah. Or they do have just a quick walk-up bar that you can do and leave. Somebody's watching your kid out there. You can walk up, have a little shot.
So they have the bar service. So there's, I don't know if I want to tell everybody this. Okay, I'll give you my big tip. I really don't want to do this because I don't want it to ruin my place for me.
But we love them.
But
we love our listeners.
We love our listeners, and we love this place, and all of the people there are fantastic there. And so they have a line. The zigzaggy line that most people are waiting in is the line to go up to the bar to get a shot at the bar. So that's if you're just going to walk in, get one drink. You can take your drink out in the pavilion with you. And I think you can actually take it and walk around Epcot. I don't think there's any problem with walking around with any alcoholic beverages anywhere, as long as you're still inside Epcot.
Yeah.
So, but the first line is the longest line, and that's just to go up and get you one shot or get you one drink or a shot and a margarita, and you take your margarita and go walk around with it. That's fine. The second line, you actually check in. There's a hostess, and they have a very small number of tables in there. I don't think most people know about the separate check-in for the tables.
Yeah.
So what we actually found is that the line to get a table is much shorter than the line to just go in and get a shot.
Yes.
So, and that's what got us in to sitting down. We would get chips and queso, and that got us the Barbas experience.
The Barbas.
Barbos.
Sorry, Barbara. Yeah. It was wonderful.
So, and we would have missed out on that if we would have just gone up to the bar and got a shot and left. So, if you really have any kind of a passion for, Mexican culture, for tequila, for margaritas, any of that kind of stuff, this is the place to go. They are very knowledgeable. They can, in detail, describe each different kind of tequila. They can talk about the regions where the agave was
harvested.
Where the agave was harvested, how it was cooked, how mezcals are made. So
yeah,
it was fascinating.
It was wonderful. Also in there, we played a game.
And then in there we played.
It was fun.
Is it Phineas and Ferb? Is that what it was
Phineas,
called?
yeah, Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb. Mm-hmm. And the game is cool, man. So I think it's technically for kids, but it's something kind of fun that you can do as an adult that you can take time to do because you're not stressing out about riding rides and having an agenda.
Yeah, it's one of those extra things to Disney.
Yeah, so you play it on your smartphone, you go around, you play little games, and so each game, there's a different game for each pavilion. So you go and you say, where are you at? I'm in Mexico. Okay, we're going to try to defeat the bad guy in Mexico. So they give you different things. They ask you questions. Okay, you answered that question correctly. Now you walk over, and one of the things was like there was like a bird cage there. And they were like, you walk up in front of the bird cage. They ask you a question. You answer the question right. When you answer the question right, all of a sudden the bird cage comes alive and the bird cage starts moving around.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just something really unique that I had no idea. It's an extra layer in Disney that if you don't, there's just so many different things to Disney. Yeah. It's just you cannot keep up with all of them.
Yeah, other people are walking by and don't even
notice. Yeah,
and don't even see that something's happening.
They don't even notice. Yeah. So cool. And then it also has a guy that comes up on the tops of one of the buildings and shoots like a big giant satellite ray gun. And it makes noise, and I guarantee people probably notice it, probably think, what is that? Because I've been in there before when somebody else must have been doing it, and I was like, what is that? Why did that thing come out of there? And you have no idea what's going on.
Right, yeah.
And they have this game, and you can play it at each one of the different pavilions. Mm-hmm. So, if you're, I know a lot of people go to Epcot and want to do the drink around the world type thing. Well, if you're going to do the drink around the world, why not play the game at each place too? So while you're having your drinks and everybody's hanging out, answer some questions, check out these unique little things. Where was it? In Japan, they had one of the things turned on a waterfall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was really cool.
So it turned on a waterfall. The other thing was like a rock, and then you answered a question, and the rock lit up.
Lights up, yeah.
And there was no way to tell that it would do that.
Yeah.
Without, playing the game.
It was very hidden.
Yeah.
There was something in a pond, too.
There was something in a pond. Yeah. There's a lot to it. So the game is very involved. Very cool. I highly recommend. Check out some of the extras. There's also, we'll talk about that on the other episode, the Sorcerer's thing. Yeah, I think
Epcot is really great for adults because it's slow and it's more of these other things that you can do.
Yeah.
Other fun things.
And I highly recommend the Food and Wine Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Which we were planning on getting to at some point, but I'll go ahead and bring it up now.
Yeah. That's coming up August 29th through November 23rd.
This year. So that's going on this year. Yeah, currently.
Yeah.
So it's by far amazing. They have different carts for each different part of the world. So if you want to, you can go around to a cart and get some Moroccan food. You can get some French food. You can get some British food. You can get Canadian food, Mexican food, Chinese food.
I'm so mad we missed that.
It's really fantastic. That's another thing I highly, highly recommend. Mm-hmm. So, and also Barbos told us that during the Food and Wine Festival, they have a tequila class?
Yes. So we also we forgot to mention, at the La Guava Tequila, we met the owner. Was she the owner, right? Or the manager?
She wasn't the owner. Yeah, I think Disney owns everything. Oh, but, she was like the manager. She was like the head lady in charge of the whole place.
And she leads a private class, which I think was $2 something.
I think it was $100 a piece. Yeah, so I think it might have been $200, $90 a piece. I think.
Yeah, something like that. And I think it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays where she teaches
during the Food and Wine Festival. Only during the Food and Wine Festival.
Only during and she'll teach you about tequilas and how it's made, and you basically one-on-one class.
It's a very involved class where they teach you very specific things about tequila.
Yeah,
and then they let you try a bunch of the high-end tequilas. Mm-hmm. So I think he said during that they do half shots, but you try more.
Yeah.
So you get to try really good high-end stuff. It's cheaper because you're only doing half shots. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
I mean, that's worth it alone.
But yeah.
$333 for the flight.
Correct, yeah.
So you could maybe try all of those for $100. But
so yeah, because he said that was $90 a person. So, and we wanted to do that, but again, it was only available during that short window.
The 29th.
So we're going to figure out how to go back down there here in about a week. No.
If anybody wants to have us.
Yes.
And then we got to see the fireworks show, which I had never seen. It's called Illuminations. Which was wonderful, but it is going to come to an end September 30th of 2019.
It's just about to wrap up.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I don't know how long that show's been in place, but I've been, like when I lived down in Florida, I had been to Disney many, many, many times, and that show's been going on for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And it's the one, if you've been there before, it's the one where they have the Earth out there, the Earth is spinning around, the Earth splits open, and fireworks come out of the middle of the Earth, and that show's going to be done.
Yeah.
That's going to end.
They're going to have a new show called Epcot Forever.
Epcot Forever.
And apparently it will feature kites, which sounds...
Some kind of kites somehow. I don't know how they're going to do kites cool. at night, but maybe they'll have fireworks coming off of the kites.
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't know.
Light up kites.
So it's going to have different lasers, different lights, different fireworks. I'm sure it'll be equally as amazing.
Yeah. It was wonderful. I mean, and the sad part about it was we didn't, because we were in La Guava Tequila having drinks, we missed like getting there early enough to be in the front, which was fine, but I've noticed all the people in front of us were just the entire time videoing the fireworks. Like nobody was watching them. They were just videoing them. So I highly recommend, if you do go and you do get to see the show before it ends, or you see the new show, because I'm sure the new one's going to be just great, that you actually watch the show.
Be present.
Yeah.
Do not, I mean, you can do whatever you like, but I'm a big proponent of don't videotape fireworks ever. No one wants to watch your fireworks. No one's going to watch your fireworks on Facebook. You are never going to go home and sit around and watch fireworks. You're not going to do it. I've never met anybody in my life that goes and sits at home and watches their firework videos.
But it was like a one-of-a-kind experience for me. It was amazing.
So, yeah, be present, be there, enjoy things. I mean, still take pictures, but, I mean, enjoy your vacation.
Yeah.
Watching it through a little lens is not the same as taking it all in. You get a 180 degree view, I guess, from your eyeballs versus a little bitty screen that you're taking everything in on through.
Yeah, because there's a lot to see at once.
There's a lot, and it's going on all around you.
For sure. So that was Epcot. It was amazing. It's probably my favorite.
Yeah, Epcot is probably definitely my favorite too, actually. And they're getting ready. They're doing a huge remodel there, by the way. So they've got the entrance all blocked off right now. They're redoing all the turnstiles. They're getting ready to do the actual golf ball that is Epcot itself. I call it the golf ball. I don't know if they call it something else.
I think everybody calls it that.
Sorry, Disney. But they're getting ready to redo the golf ball, which it's Spaceship Earth, right?
Yes, that was Spaceship Earth. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So that's the ride where you're going up and down in the...
Yeah, so it's the continuous ride that goes all through Epcot. They're getting ready to completely redo that. So that's getting ready to start like very soon, like within the next month, I believe.
Okay.
So that ride is likely to be closed down for, I don't know how long it takes them to redo a ride, 6 months to a year maybe. So, and then they're adding a bunch of new stuff. Did we write down all the stuff that they're adding or no?
I know they're adding a Gardens of the Galaxy attraction.
Guardians of the Galaxy? Yeah, correct.
I think that...
They do have a new Guardians of the Galaxy show, by the way, that's in front of the America Pavilion. It's like a musical show. They do basically like a concert that has lots of like fireworks and lasers and lights and stuff like that. That's pretty cool that the kids would probably like. Yeah. And it's a nice break, especially if you're walking around the World Pavilion, sit down and watch it. They probably do it, 5 or 6 times a day.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It was an enjoyable show. It's got good music. Yeah. I thought.
Yeah, very interactive. For sure. So, what's next?
Okay, next is Animal Kingdom. So, what? You sounded disappointed.
No, not disappointed. I liked it.
What was your favorite thing about Animal Kingdom?
Definitely the pineapple upside down cake.
Oh my Lord.
I know that sounds bad.
It wasn't the safari thing?
I don't know. The safari was amazing.
We had a giraffe walk right next to us on the safari ride. So
we did. I
thought that was going to be the favorite.
But this cake, I think about this sometimes.
Oh my Lord. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Though. So we went to a restaurant called Yak and Yeti. Yak and Yeti is also a Landry restaurant, which I did not know. So if you are a Landry member, they have like memberships. The Landry has restaurants all over the U.S. and they also have the the Rainforest Cafe and the Dinosaur restaurant. Dino something. Yeah.
Dinosphere. I can't remember what it is. That's inside downtown Disney. So if you have a Landry's membership, that you pay $25, but then they give you $25 like in vouchers back, and it gets you priority seating. I'm not a member. I've never used it. However, the priority seating thing may be worth it if you're trying to eat at Disney World and say you don't have an advance reservation.
Yeah, that might be nice.
I highly recommend getting an advance reservation because it's Disney and everything's crazy.
Yeah.
So plan your trip out well in advance too, by the way. That's another huge tip. Make sure that you plan as far out as you can.
For sure. But Yakking Yeti was pretty good, but I remember I went to the restroom and some girl in the restroom when I was washing my hands, she was like, "Get the pineapple upside down cake."
Nicole gets all her tips in the bathroom.
It's the best place to socialize. The
men's room is not like that, by the way. We don't talk about anything.
No?
No.
Gosh.
I never hear men saying, "You have to get this dessert."
I'm very sorry for your luck.
Yeah.
So then I went back to the table and I was like, okay, we have to order this. I don't even remember what I ate for dinner because I just remember this pineapple upside down cake being so great. And it was. So if you go there, check it out.
I got some version of like the Bang Bang shrimp. That was really good. I liked it a lot. And then I got like a shrimp and fish meal as well. Yeah. So I got double dose of shrimp.
I think I had steak. I
think you had steak and God, I can't remember.
Pineapple upside down cake.
Pineapple upside down cake, which is the most important part.
So was your favorite then the safari ride?
I would say my favorite is probably the safari ride. I also like the Pandora. Or not Pandora, but the...
yeah. Avatar?
Avatar section. The whole Avatar section is amazing.
Yeah, it was.
They basically created a floating mountain in the Avatar section that looks like it's just out of the movie.
Yeah.
If you're a huge Avatar fan, go over there. It's flat out amazing.
Yeah, well, I have a video that I took when I went because I was kind of like overwhelmed when we walked in there because you really feel like you're in the movie and
it's
you just
nuts. Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. You just the whole time I spent looking like, how did they do this?
Yeah.
I remember being like, well, how is that done? And how is that done?
Yeah, that's the way you feel the whole entire time. You're just like looking around like, how'd they do that? Look how old that looks. They have like a ladder that looks all rusty and old, but it's not. It's structurally sound. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll post some pictures and videos. I did take some videos there just because I was like, people need to see this. This is amazing. But yeah, the safari ride was fun too.
Safari ride was good.
The tip we got on that, they say, is to go either early in the day or late for the animals to be out.
It says the animals are most active, yeah. Mm-hmm. So probably because they're hotter than crap because it's Orlando in the middle of summer, which I'm sure it's not hotter than Africa. But,
right. What else did we saw up close and personal? Wasn't it a rhino? There was one like right.
There was a rhino that was very close to us. Yeah, he was standing right next to the bus. But the giraffe was my favorite. The giraffe was literally just like walking right next to us. To the point where she's like, we can't stop at this one. We have to keep rolling. Same thing with the rhino. Yeah. So she goes, we can't stop, but we'll roll by really slow. Yeah. I was amazed at how close you can get. The rhino was really close too. The rhino was literally probably 5 or 10 feet away from the bus. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy because they can charge, Yeah. I've seen them charge at the zoos. It's a great big giant open aired vehicle that you can very clearly see out of, and all of the animals. It's like going on a safari in Africa. All the animals are just walking around free. Yeah, that was amazing. So it's very, very cool. And they do have a special access to Savannah, which is a tour in this area in the Savannah. So this would be similar to like the behind the scenes type thing where you can go and they take you in there and teach you about the animals, teach you about what they eat. Yeah. Which we saw some of them. So there was like a platform with like tables and we could see people eating back in the woods. Yeah. And I was like, how do they get back there? Yeah. And we figured out it was a special access tour. We started figuring out that there's lots of private tours. Mm-hmm. And I was saying that I almost feel like next time if I go, I'm going to do nothing but private tours. Yeah, not even try to ride rides. And just not even tours. Try to ride rides. Or maybe fit, a few in, but really make it about like the private tours because I really feel like that's where it's at and that's where you get the absolute most unique experience. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be a little pricey, but who wants to spend half their vacation waiting in line anyways? Right, yeah. You're going to be full-time action doing something the whole time. Yeah. So there's no wait on the behind-the-scenes tours. True. And you're treated like
kind of special.
Yeah, like royalty.
So that tour is $169 per guest. And then you do get a meal with that. It's like an African inspired cuisine.
Cool.
With some beer and wine as well.
Very
and kind of
nice.
back private viewing areas. So I want to do that one next time.
Love
It'll be
it. Sign
fun.
me up.
That one might be hot, but still enjoyable.
They're all kind of hot.
Okay. Well, that was Animal Kingdom. Wait, what was the other ride we rode? With the mountain and the...
Expedition Everest.
Yes, yeah. So we rode that.
So yeah, we rode that.
That's a lot
That's
for adults.
I get a little motion sick, so I had a little bit of a rough time on that one. So
Yeah.
the only thing is they have things posted at all the rides now that say if you are motion sick, you might not want to ride this, but it says that on like everything, so it kind of waters down the warning because they'll have that same warning at like Dumbo or something. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
So, but yes, that is a lot of very fast, very going around in circles, very going in and out of lights. So it's light to dark when you're going through the mountain. And yeah, it messed me up a little bit. So
Yeah.
if you do have problems with motion sick, you may want to skip that one. So,
Yeah,
but it's definitely an excellent ride.
for sure. Okay, so we found a few more tours that we didn't do that we would like to do. Do you want to talk about those?
Let's do it.
All right. So there's one called the Backstage Magic Tour, and it's a 7-hour behind the scenes tour. So perfect for just adults.
Yeah.
Kids are going to get really bored on this.
Yes.
And you learn what it takes to kind of bring the magic of Disney to life. So how do they even pull all this off? You see the inner workings behind like all the audio and the animatronics. You go inside some of the tunnels that the cast members and crew go in, so you don't have to see them walking around all the time. And the vehicles and how they move stuff around. And there's a behind the scenes at the River of Lights tour. So that sounds pretty cool. This one is probably the one. Did you say you've done this one before?
I haven't done any of these actually.
Okay. So this one I would definitely love to do because it seems like something that you're going to learn a lot more about Disney and then know what else to do.
Yeah.
So you're going to know next time what you're going to be able to do, right?
Yes.
So that sounds...
So, and they take you through the tunnels called what do they call it again? Utilidor system.
Utilidor.
So basically they have tunnels and pipes and everything that go underneath the Magic Kingdom. So if you start really thinking about next time you're there and paying attention, you never see anybody with garbage. You never see any of the characters in the wrong areas. So they go through these tunnels, so they'll pop out, get trash, go back down these tunnels and take it down. So when you're walking around the Magic Kingdom, you are actually on the second floor all the time. If you pay attention when you're going in there, you're going uphill. So you walk uphill to go in, and it's because you're going up to the second floor.
See, that's something that a lot of people probably don't know.
Yeah. So I did do a utilidor, whatever.
That might have been this Keys to the Kingdom tour.
I did something similar to that, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is that you will never see a character, so you will never see Winnie the Pooh walking through Futureland. You will never see that because they come out of these private places so that doesn't ruin the magic. That's part of the magic. They only want you to see those characters in their environment. You're never going to see Captain Hook walking through Adventureland or something like that. Captain Hook is always going to be by the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
That sounds right.
So the Keys to the Kingdom tour is kind of the same thing, only it's only the Magic Kingdom, right? And it's a 5-hour tour, so basically it's going to be even more in depth than the Backstage tour. The Backstage tour, I believe, is all the parks.
Yeah, so the Backstage tour, you go between all of the parks.
So yeah, so you spend roughly 2 hours in each one, or an hour in each one, plus transportation back and forth.
Yeah, and so in that one, you have to have the park hopper pass for that one.
Correct.
The Keys to the Kingdom you can just get.
The Keys to the Kingdom is just
Magic
the
Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom, yeah. So it's a 5-hour one. They take you down to the Utilidor. They show you hidden secrets, the magic, the tunnels. They're always dropping knowledge on you all the time about little facts, things about Walt, things about how they designed things, why they designed things the way they were, how they purchased the land. You know, there's I don't know if you've heard any of these stories, but some of the stories about how they were purchasing the land and they created all these fake shell companies to be able to buy the land, because once people figured out that, this company buying up all of this swampland is Disney, then everybody immediately wants 10 times the amount of what their land is worth because it's Disney buying it.
Yeah.
So when they needed to buy as much land as possible, as cheaply as possible, so they had the ability to create all this. They pay all the money for the land. They don't have any money to build the park.
Ah, that's interesting.
So that is why Disney is so large, and that is why it has the ability to grow so large, because they own such a large piece of land there, versus like Disneyland in California. They're kind of stuck. They can't really expand anymore. It's kind of landlocked, per se.
See, he's always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Walt was always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Genius.
So, I mean, some of the stuff that you learn on these tours is fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's where it's at to me. I mean, yes, the rides are cool. I enjoy the rides, but I like the nitty gritty.
Yeah, as the adult.
I like all that. Yeah, as the adult on an adult tour and an adult day, that's what I want. I want the nitty gritty. Where did the park come from? How did they find it? How did they buy stuff? You know, tell me some of the dirt.
I think that's like the adult magic.
Yeah.
You know, like a kid magic's like, oh, all the characters. Our magic is like, whoa, but how did they do this?
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then the final thing we've probably got is I was going to recommend Jelly Rolls. Jelly Rolls is at the Boardwalk area, which is another area we haven't really talked that much about. I have been to the Boardwalk area before. It's been quite a while since I've been there. It's kind of similar to like Downtown Disney, where it's got like a boardwalk that goes along the water, and it has all kinds of little shops and restaurants and candy shops, and there's like a bar. There's like an ESPN bar in there where they do like live shows periodically. Mm-hmm. So you'll see them doing like actual live ESPN stuff there. And then the Jelly Rolls is a dueling piano bar. So, and it's in the Boardwalk. It's right on the Boardwalk Inn. It is for adults only. You do have to be 21 to go in there. And they do all of the piano bar type things.
Cool. That'd be awesome.
So, yeah.
Very cool. So next
we do have more.
Downtown Disney, which...
I didn't realize we still had stuff left.
Yeah.
This is a long show. Sorry, guys.
Okay, but Downtown Disney's worth it.
Yep. No. We need to do it.
So Downtown Disney, for those of you who don't know, because I had no idea what it was, it's like a food and shopping place that is really close to Disney.
It's like a really beautiful high-end open-air mall, kind of.
Yeah, basically. But
that's all Disney styled.
Yeah.
So, and it's over top and grand.
Yeah.
As all Disney things are.
And it's a nice like segue to leaving the park, or if you need a break. So say you go to park for 3 days in a row and you need a break, it's a nice place to go and just relax.
Yeah.
And like it is crowded, but not like the parks. And you will walk. It's pretty big, but not like walking at the park. So it's kind of a more relaxed feel if you need that.
I mean, honestly, if you have the ability to do it, I recommend you do like maybe a park a day. So you do a park and then an off day, and then a park and then an off day. So if you did 7 days, you'd hit the park every other day, and then you'd have 3 days of hanging out at the pool, of exploring your hotel, seeing all the different unique things your hotel has, and then going to Downtown Disney in the evening. There is a lot to do there.
And I think that's what was wonderful, because our hotel, we just had to walk up one flight of stairs and then over a bridge and down, and we were at Downtown Disney.
Yeah.
So even though we weren't on the resorts, it was kind of nice because we could be there and come straight back, not have to drive home tired from where we were going to dinner.
Well, and you can go out, you can go to dinner, you can have some drinks. And you can walk back. You don't have to drink and drive, you know.
Yeah.
Or take Ubers or any of that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Please don't drink and drive at Disney. That's a big no-no.
Or ever.
Or ever.
We don't condone that.
But especially at Disney.
So what was your favorite part of Downtown Disney, Jason?
I really liked the restaurants a lot. I really liked, was the guy's name Alex?
Yes, Alex. At the boathouse?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Nicholas Marks, actually.
Oh, Nicholas, yeah.
He plays Spanish guitar, and he is fantastic. So they have these different artists there that play music and they excel at whatever they play. And this guy is a Spanish guitar player. I really like Spanish guitar a lot. I think it's very unique, and he is fantastic. So if you're going, go check out Nicholas Marks. My second favorite thing would be the Boathouse restaurant. And the guy that we met there and talked to, which was a bartender there, his name is Alex. I don't know what his last name is.
I don't think we got it.
I don't know if we got it, yeah. He is fantastic. All the bartenders at the Boathouse are fantastic.
Yeah.
All the wait staff, everybody there is very knowledgeable, and they know what they're doing. They treat you right. They have great stories to tell. You can tell they definitely do some research when they hire people there.
Right. And I want to say one tip that we learned when we went to the Boathouse. So we did not have reservations.
This is a huge tip.
And this is a huge tip, especially for adults only, is if you're going somewhere and you don't have a reservation, just go and sit at the bar.
They all have bars.
Yeah, they all have bars, and all of them have full menus, so you can get whatever you want.
And they have open seating.
Yeah.
So all the bars and all the restaurants all have open seating. It is not reserved. So if you do not have something reserved for that evening and it's just two of you, you can walk in and go sit down probably within 15 minutes.
Right, we did that the first night, I think, the first time we were at Downtown Disney.
Morimoto's.
Yeah, and we were like, this is genius. So we went back to the Boathouse, and we went back there.
We figured out it works almost everywhere.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 times. Just walked right up.
So again, if you're doing adulting stuff, maybe you don't even have to make reservations. I mean, as we've talked about before, I like to fly by the seat of my pants. I don't like to be strapped down to reservations and meal times and, stuff like that. If you're going with your family, I highly recommend you plan everything out. Use the My Disney Experience app, plan everything out, have reservations, have your fast passes, do that all ahead of time. But if you get into a jam, you can definitely just walk in.
Yeah.
And sit down at one of the bars. And both times we went to the Boathouse, we were able to walk in and sit down immediately.
Oh, yeah. In the front bar
Same
and the
thing
back
with
bar.
Mirimoto, too.
Yeah, which was amazing.
We just walked in and we were literally able to sit down immediately. We got lucky. Now, people came in after us and we're not able to sit down immediately, but they waited a few minutes and something comes open.
Yeah. But this place was awesome. Like we said, we met Alex there and a couple other the bartenders. Everybody was so friendly.
Yeah.
They have live music, which I really enjoyed. I think we went there 3 nights, and each night I loved the music.
Everybody at Disney Springs is fantastic. All the musicians. It's amazing how high quality musicians they get. Because you would think that it would just be, any old buddy, some kind of street performer or something. I think these people are much higher quality than like street performers, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, they're paid by Disney, so they're not just performing.
Yeah, and I thought maybe these guys weren't paid that great, but I'm starting to think that they're paid rather well because they all know their craft well.
Yeah. So at the Boathouse, we had the clams, which was my first time having one.
Both of ours, yeah. We both tried clams. It was our very first time. Alex.
Oh, we made oysters.
Oysters, clams, whatever.
Same thing, yeah. Well,
it is the same thing, isn't it?
I'm not so sure.
Okay, we mean oysters.
By clams, we mean oysters. Yeah, I saw them, and I was fascinated because you can watch them open them. So there's somebody that stands there and opens them in front of the case, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to carpal tunnel. I was just thinking of all the things about these these oysters, and I was like, this is so cool. And the guy was like, do you want to try one? And I was like, no, but yes. So he brought me one, and it was amazing. Just tasted like butter.
So we talked Nicole into trying one. And then the next night we went back and we told Alex that Nicole tried one. And Alex gave me a hard time because I hadn't had any. And he's like, I'm just going to go get some for you.
He brings him a tray of them.
And then he brought me a bunch of oysters. And he's like, look, I'm just going to walk you through it. I'm going to teach you how to season them up and do all your things. So,
yeah.
And it's actually pretty fantastic.
Yeah. If you get a chance, I mean, I know people think they're gross, but if you just get a chance to try one.
I definitely thought it was gross, but it's really good once you get past the texture part of it.
They also had amazing lobster bisque there.
Their lobster bisque is
amazing.
Fantastic.
Yes. Steak sliders were amazing.
Steak sliders are fantastic. Their lobster there is fantastic. Their fillets are fantastic.
Yes.
Their salads are fantastic.
Like no, hold up at the rolls though. The rolls
are fantastic.
Oh my gosh. We didn't get rolls the first night and we got them the second night and I felt cheated because they were amazing.
That's how good they were. Yeah, we were like mad that we didn't get them the first night.
What else? I mean, they do have a little store there, which is kind of cool because you can make like a personalized life preserver or a personalized like paddle.
Their store is very unique. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have personalized stuff that you can get there. They have lots of very, very cool T-shirts. They have a pretty big variety. They've got lots of little things. They got these old vintage motors, and I think that you can buy some. I think they're actually for sale.
Yeah.
So you can get like an old restored vintage outboard motor. They also have outside, but I didn't realize that I noticed this time, is they basically have an outside museum of boats.
Yes.
All around outside. So you can eat on a deck outside, and all around the deck is all these boats. So another thing, if you're really into boats, go take a walk outside. They have all these old vintage Chris Craft boats, many different kinds, but the Chris Crafts were the ones that I thought were the coolest. Mm-hmm. So another little hidden thing about Disney is I had no idea they had a boat museum out there.
Yes, and then you can take amphicars.
And then they have amphicar tours, right?
Mm-hmm. So you can rent. It's kind of like a boat, but a car at the same time.
Correct.
And you can eat dinner, have a nice dinner, and then go out on the water with your family or whoever and have a good time.
Yeah, you may remember in the 60s or the 70s, I think they were popular. They had these little amphicars. They had a company called, I believe it was called Amphicar, that came out with the cars, and people used to have them, and I'd see them periodically at the lake down the street in Indianapolis, where I used to live. And Disney went through and basically bought a fleet of them, restored all of them, and now they give tours on them. So you get to take pictures in the amphicar. They take a big picture of you splashing into the water in the car. I've done it before. It's very surreal. It's a little weird when you're floating around. You think we just closed this door and somehow this door is now holding back water. How is this happening? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Where do the props stick through? How is it not leaking around where the props come through the drive shaft and where the wheels are hooked up? And so,
but it's cool.
As a mechanically minded person, I have a hard time getting around. Like, how does this thing function?
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool place.
But yeah, so if you want to go take a tour on the amphicars, you can do that at the boathouse as well.
I definitely recommend going to the boathouse more than once.
Yes.
If you get a chance.
Yes. And then the place we went the first night that we went there was Morimoto's. Morimoto's is an Asian, like a street Asian Korean restaurant. Mm-hmm. And the chef Morimoto won Iron Chef.
Yes.
And that's where he is from. And his place is fan-freaking-tastic.
And Jason actually got to have the meal that he won Iron Chef with.
I got the actual meal that he won Iron Chef. It is called a buribop. And it's basically made right in front of you. They bring you out a bowl that is 400 degrees. Ceramic bowl. And it's got the rice, a bunch of different Korean vegetables that I don't know the names of. And then some yellowtail tuna on top.
And an egg, or was there an egg
in there?
And the
egg is in there. Yeah, there's an egg in there. So basically they lay the yellowtail against the outside of the bowl so it's starting to sear. And then the chef makes it at your table, and he kind of mixes everything all up and kind of cooks the rice and all the vegetables together. And then afterwards they lay all the tuna back on top. And then you have tuna that is not sushi. I can't think of the word for it now. Mm-hmm. Or basically where it's seared on one side and it's still kind of raw on the other side.
Yeah. And if you don't want
probably
that,
screaming the name in their head right now.
If you want it cooked more, then he can put it back on there.
And then that's what he said. He goes, is that good like that? I go, I might like it a little cooked on the other side too. He's like, yeah, no problem. So he flipped it around, let it lay on the other side. And he said, whenever you think it's enough, go ahead and flip it on there. Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. It was a very big treat. It was something that I would have never ordered on my own. I would have never even come up with the concept, didn't even know it existed. So my mind was very much blown by this.
Yeah, it was very cool.
So,
and I had the tonkashu ramen.
So like basically it's made of like ramen noodles or ramen noodles, however you like to pronounce it.
It was like a pork broth and like some roasted pork and an egg. The egg was amazing. It was like sweet, which was kind of interesting.
Sashimi. I think sashimi is how you say that.
Oh, okay.
I think it's where it's seared on one side and raw on the other. Sorry, go ahead.
Sashimi. Yeah, there was an egg, and it was very, very good. It was sweet, and then some pickled ginger in there, and it was amazing. I was pretty impressed with it. Their drinks there were also really good. I don't remember exactly the name of the one that I got. I just remember.
I can't remember what I got either, but it was also fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. And in there, the bar is really cool because, like out from the bar, there's all this cool architecture, like that go out over into the restaurant. So the bar's on the second floor.
Yeah.
And then they have all these hanging jars.
If you're into architecture, it's also a very cool designed building.
Very cool.
So it kind of looks like a warehouse from the outside. It's exceptional, yeah.
For sure.
By far, highly recommend that as well.
Yes. Yeah, so that was kind of downtown. I mean, downtown Disney obviously has a lot of different shops and things like that as well, but those were our main go-tos for downtown Disney. So I think you want to leave them with just some tips, some of our...
Yeah, we got a bunch of tips, actually, so we're going to go through and lay out some of our tips. Again, I know this is running long. I apologize. If you have to, maybe split it in half, but please come back. It's got good stuff, you know.
Yeah, good stuff.
This show is well worth listening to. So my biggest tip is probably go on the rides that are hard to get on during the parades and fireworks, especially if you're doing an adult day there. You don't care about the parade. You don't care about the fireworks. You've seen fireworks before. If you want to get on something that has a super long line like Dizzy Dog Dash or the Pandora ride, go when the parades and the light shows are going on. The line will be significantly shorter.
Right. Yeah. Genius idea.
At least half. Probably less than half.
Yeah, and you can check on your app which one is the shortest.
And then, the app will show you during the day. That's the My Disney Experience app. That thing is invaluable. If you are going, you have to have the My Disney Experience app. It's like mandatory.
Yeah, for sure. I would say one of my favorite tips is, so when you first walk in, there's a line. When you first go to the park, there's a long line where they're just checking bags.
Security.
Before you even get through the metal detectors, and then before you get to like where you're actually checking your pass.
Yeah.
So if you can, as an adult, avoid bringing a bag.
Yes.
Because we don't need as much stuff.
If you can just put your phone in your pocket and your wallet and...
Yeah, and then go about your day.
Bottles of water and a bunch of crap with you in a backpack.
Yeah, then you can skip that long line, goes through the metal detectors, and then straight to your pass line.
Depending upon what time of day you're arriving, especially if it's first thing in the morning, you're probably shaving at least 15 minutes off your time to get in.
For sure.
Because the line is very long for them to check all the bags. So you can walk right down the side. At Epcot, it was right down the right-hand side, so they got all the lines lined up for people to check bags. All the way to the right, you can walk right down the right-hand side. They'll let you walk right up, walk through the metal detector, boom, you're inside.
For sure, yeah.
So, and that's probably 300 people that you are now beating to a ride, and you're getting to ride it first.
I actually think that's how we got to Soarin'
That's
first day.
how we got on Soarin' the first time, yeah, because we got to skip that big line.
Right, yeah. So...
Another one that we kind of already talked about is save your shopping for downtown Disney and or the end of the day when they have that final hour and you can do your shopping during the final hour.
Yeah.
Don't waste time. Go ride your rides. Go have your experiences. Go live your life. And then at the end, go do your shopping.
Yeah. It's definitely all about time because I know we've said in previous shows, like we only get so much vacation.
You only get so much vacation in your life, and then Disney is an expensive experience anyways. So, and if you really broke down the time that you were spending per minute or per half hour to be there, you'd probably be sick. So don't do that. Be
enjoying it. So going along with that time saver, we suggest not doing the park hopper pass unless you really want to go to multiple parks in a day. We suggest not because the transportation time between the parks is long and it will cut down on your ability to do anything.
Yeah, park hopper seems good in theory, but in all actuality, it takes so long to get from one park to another.
Yeah.
When you have to think about this, like if I'm going to Epcot, I got to go drive into Epcot. I got to park. I got to walk from my car to the tram. I got to wait around for 5-10 minutes or something to get on the tram. The next tram shows up, takes me up to the front. Now I have to go up. I got to wait through the security line. I got to wait through the line to scan my little badge to get in. Then I got to walk into the park, go ride my couple rides that I got, and then I have to go back through that whole process to get back to my car. Now I have to get in my car, and I have to drive to another location where I have to do the same process all over again.
Yeah.
It eats up a ton of your time. It seems great. The only instance that I think doing a park hopper is worth it is if you are staying on the boardwalk. Disney's boardwalk is basically connected to Epcot. You can go and do another park during the day and then kind of go into Epcot like we go into downtown Disney for dinner. You could go into Epcot, have dinner there, watch the fireworks, go get a shot of tequila, whatever you want to do. That would be like the only instance that I would really think that it's worth it. It's quite a bit more expensive, and really you want to be able to thoroughly explore each park every day, and you don't want to be stressing about hopping around.
For sure. Yeah, not worth it.
It's just really not worth it. So, and I would recommend if you're going to go, you need to go a minimum of 4 days. So you need to plan a day for each park and just get a pass for each park and just do it like that.
Do it all. I agree.
I mean, you can do 3 days, but you're definitely going to miss something. And I recommend you just pick whatever, if something doesn't interest you, then maybe you skip that park.
Yeah.
If you're not really that into Hollywood Studios, skip Hollywood Studios. Do the other 3 parks. And if that's the way it's going to be, I would do that as opposed to trying to do 2 standard tickets and then maybe a park hopper one day and then trying to cram 2 parks into one day.
Yeah.
You're just going to end up disappointed, I feel.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
That's just my opinion again.
I would agree. So another tip that we have is for Animal Kingdom. So if the turnstiles, so kind of where you go through to get into Animal Kingdom are going really slow, there is a Rainforest Cafe right there off to the side.
Off to the left.
And you can go through there, and then there's more turnstiles there that you can get through faster without eating
out
at
the back.
Restaurant.
So basically you go through the gift shop. So you go off to the left. So you got all of your turnstiles to get in where everybody's scanning their IDs to get in. You go off to the left. They have Rainforest Cafe. You cut through Rainforest Cafe. You cut through the gift shop there. And then there's a little door out the back. You walk out the back door. There's a little lane there. And you come to a couple more turnstiles. So that could shave off a few minutes of time getting in.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's definitely a little insider tip that I think a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, agreed. And then we also recommend for sure bringing ponchos. I think it rained on us a couple times, but
almost every day.
Yeah, it'll for sure rain on you. And they're a lot cheaper to bring from home than buying them at the park.
Yeah, it's Florida, and I lived in Florida for a long time. It rains all the time, especially in Orlando. It definitely rains in the summer. So it might be a little better in the winter, but it's going to rain at least at some point during your trip. Buy them at home. Buy them at your Walmart or something like that and bring them with you and go. So don't not go to the park that day because it's raining. Those are your days that you'll get on all the rides, and you'll get to ride each ride multiple different times. Some of the rides do close when it rains, but a lot of them don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So take advantage of it and go ride the crap out of everything. So some of the best times I've ever had at Disney have been times when I can go on a rainy day and I just ride because there's nobody there.
That's amazing.
Because everybody stays at their hotel. They think, I can't go. It's raining. I put on a poncho and I ride everything.
Call it a day.
That's my favorite day, man.
Wear your swimsuit.
There you go.
Pro tip.
Go on that water ride. Go on that log flume ride. Get super soaked.
And then another tip, so if you love gum, you will definitely want to bring your own.
They do not sell gum anywhere on Disney property.
Yes. Why is that?
Walt Disney would roll over in his grave. Walt did not want gum on the sidewalks of his parks and the streets of his parks. So he banned all gum from all parks. They do not sell it in any of the hotels. They do not sell it in any of the parks. They may sell it at some of the gas stations or something like that, but that's going to be about the best you're going to get. So I don't really chew gum that much. It's not a big deal to me, but I have become aware that some people do like to chew a lot of gum. If you do, bring it with you. And if you do, have a little courtesy and don't throw it on the floor.
Yes, please.
Throw it in the trash can, please.
Yes, for sure.
Last but not least,
the top 3 counter service restaurants.
The top 3 counter service restaurants in Walt Disney World are, and these are not in any order.
These are not in our favorite order.
The Contempo Cafe at the Contemporary Resort.
The Gasparian. Am I saying that right?
Gasparilla.
Gasparilla.
Island Grill.
Island Grill in the Grand Floridian.
And Captain Cook's in the Polynesian Resort. They are all short distances from the Magic Kingdom. If you wanted to like take a little break in the middle of the day, you can get out. You can hop on the monorail. You can ride the monorail over to one of these, and the service it's better there. You're going to get much better food there, and it gets you a little break. It gets you outside the park. It just gets you a little change up in venue, a little change up in scenery.
Yeah.
And it gets you into one of those hotels that you might check out. If you're not staying at one of those, go check out the Polynesian. The Polynesian is cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. The Grand Floridian is cool. It's, a little more stuffy,
Yeah. It's still cool.
That was one of the things that I wanted to say, too, about the Dine in the Sky thing is it allows you to get in all those hotels and kind of feel them out and kind of experience them without actually staying in them. And I would say, for me, I would stay at the Polynesian or the Contemporary before I would stay at the Grand Floridian. Mm-hmm. It felt higher end. It felt a little stuffier to me. Yeah. If that's your background, that's what you enjoy, go for it. That suits you the best. For me, I think the Polynesian probably suits me the best, but the Contemporary is very cool too, and they feel a little more laid back and a little more vacation-y.
Yeah.
You feel like you need to wear nicer clothes at the Floridian or something,
Yeah.
So
you don't want to be walking around in your skivvies.
Yeah. You feel weird, walking through it in your swimming trunks or something like that. You might feel a little out of place. I don't know.
For sure.
That's just my thought.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our Disney for adults, guys.
Yeah, that was only an hour and 45 minutes. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we have no hidden gem this time.
We do not have a hidden gem. No.
Or don't do that.
We decided not to because we thought it was going to run long, and we were right.
Yes. Yeah. Do we have any shout outs, though?
We are picking up new listeners all over the place, but I don't think we picked up anything new.
Germany.
Oh, yeah, we did pick up new people in Germany. Yeah.
Thank you, Germany.
Hey, Germany.
Hey.
We appreciate you checking us out.
Yeah. And thank you for everybody else that's still listening.
And everybody else is still listening in all of our other wonderful countries. We're still getting lots of people in Japan. Thank you, Japan. Lots of people in Australia, New Zealand. We still get a lot of those people. And we still get a lot of our faithfuls in the U.S. We want to thank everybody in the U.S. that's still listening, especially all of our local peeps here in Indiana. Yes. Indiana's definitely the strongest one by far, but Florida is kind of nipping at your heels a little bit. We get a ton of listeners in Florida, so hopefully this episode will go over well there.
And also we we have our Facebook page, but we started a Facebook discussion page.
A group. Yeah,
group right?
Page. The Nomadic Traveler Podcast group. So basically it's like a group setting, a group discussion. Feel free to get on there, check it out. You can ask a question. If you have a question about Disney, you can ask it on there. Other people can answer. I can get on there and answer. Nicole can get on there and answer. You can get info from everybody. So this is where you get on and you can share your travel experiences. If you had an amazing trip to Disney, get on there, show some pictures.
Yeah.
Get on our Facebook page, show some pictures. We want to learn about you, and we want everybody to feel free to share whatever they like.
Yes, for sure.
So there's very few rules. We're not going to say no profanity, but let's try to keep everything as family friendly as possible.
Yeah, just love each other.
No bullying. Yeah. No. What am I trying to think of?
Just love each
racism.
Other. Yeah, if you just love each other, it works.
Just love each other.
That's my theory.
Just be kind.
Yeah.
And rewind.
But yeah, so we have a lot of good shows coming up for you guys. The next few weeks, we got a lot of stuff going on.
We also have a Disney for Families episode that we're working on.
Coming up.
So that will be coming up. We are working on a houseboating episode, which hopefully that will work out. We have a houseboating expert. So if you want to learn about houseboating, which we do,
a lot of cool things.
That. We still are working on the NASA episode, so the NASA episode will be coming soon. We've got lots of other little things that we are working on that we can't really tell you about yet. But yeah.
So, hit us up and let us know if you guys have any ideas or any comments or suggestions or anything. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, one last thing I wanted to say is that if you have questions about Disney in particular, either about Disney for adults or Disney for families, hit us up on our Facebook page. Ask us about them now. We will try to answer your questions in the Disney for Families episode.
Good.
So if you come up with anything good, please hit us up. You can private message us, or you can just post it straight on the page if you like. I'm going to post a reminder on the page as well, so you can hopefully be prompted to ask the questions. But yes, Disney questions.
Yeah.
Let us know what you got.
And if you send them to us in our email or on Facebook, we will send you a little swag.
A little something.
A little Nomadic Traveler gift. So, let us know.
All right. That's all we got.
All right. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next week.